The word disappointment is used a lot these days, but I think it's for good reason, especially when it comes to this movie. Now, I've been waiting to see the Rob Zombie's take on the Munsters. For those who don't know, I've been a fan of the Munsters for a long time. I've enjoyed the sitcom, and I will say it's probably one of the most controversial things ever. I like the Munsters more than the Addams Family. There, I said it. Not to say I don't like the Addams Family, but I will always pick the Munsters over the Addams Family. Yeah. And I was interested. I've always been kind of following Rob Zombie's. When they announced that Rob Zombie was going to be doing a film based off of the Munsters, I was like, all right, because I had a feeling that he wasn't going to do. A lot of people were like, oh, he's going to make it like his rockabilly kind of films and whatnot. He's going to do that, and like that's all it's going to be. And like I was like, I got a feeling he's not going to do that. I was more concerned about it becoming more. I was more concerned with the film becoming more like because we've never seen Rob Zombie do comedy. We've never seen Rob Zombie do like full-on comedy. And when the first little teaser showed up of the film of the black and white, I was like, oh, there's hope here. And then I watched the full trailer. I was like, oh no. But I was like, okay, maybe it's just a bad trailer. Maybe I can just maybe it'll be better, and maybe it'll be like fun. It'll be campy fun at the very least. Especially when they said that like Entertainment 1440 is behind this, which for those who don't know, Entertainment 1440 is a subsidiary of Universal that does really, 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 and I do stress the word really, cheap movies, direct-to-DVD movies. They did that Daphne and Velma movie a while back that was god-awful. Then they did, I think they're also doing Bring It On, Cheer or Die, that horror version of the horror version of Bring It On. Yeah, because that's what if people want to watch Bring It On, make it into a horror movie. I think they also were responsible for the Banana Splits movie, which I both love and simultaneously hate together. Yeah. So, I didn't know what to think with this movie. And then I sat down and watched it. And you know what the biggest sin a movie can be? Boring. Now, to be fair, I would take this over Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which I recently just did a review on. Like I said, I do the theatrical movie reviews over on Patreon. Here, these are streaming movies, so I just put them on here. This is probably where I'll also put the Hocus Pocus 2 review whenever I get to it. But yeah, I put the streaming reviews here. And this was a movie that I was like, maybe there's some hope here. Y'all, this movie's bad. This movie's really bad. Now, like I said, it's not terrible. It's not bad like Jeepers Creepers Reborn bad, but it is got a level of suck that I will never watch this movie again. Now, to its credit, there are some good things about this movie. Daniel Roebuck, who plays Grandpa Munster, he's actually really good. He's actually he really does feel like Al Michaels from the original show playing Grandpa. He's got the voice down and the mannerisms. He's clearly a big fan, and he does have massive collections of the Munsters that he has, and he really does, he really knows his shit, so I was cool about that. I think he's probably the standout among everyone else, and I think he brings the most life to this film. And there are some other characters in here that are really fun, even though they serve no point in the movie, like Sylvester McCoy as Igor, which was okay, why is he here? But sure, whatever. But Sylvester McCoy is literally like a cartoon character in here, and he's definitely it's always fun to see Sylvester McCoy. the Seventh Doctor in anything. So I was like, you're good. Richard Brake also as both Orlok and the Herman's creator. Yeah, I think he did both roles. But yeah, anyway, that was he was pretty good too. I actually like Richard Brake's take on the Professor because he's clearly channeling Vincent Price. He is clearly doing Vincent Price in the film, and I was like, oh, I really like that. He does a really good Vincent Price impression, so I think he was pretty good too. And yeah, that's where the good stops for this movie. That's where the good for this movie really does hit we really pump the brakes on what was good in this film. This movie is boring as all hell. Only like 3 jokes landed for me, and they were all from Grandpa Munster. And I think it's more of line delivery than anything else. This movie is cheap as fuck too. Like, there is some stuff that looks like it came out of a Famicom game. I shit you not. Like, a lot of this looks like it came out of a goddamn Famicom game. Some of the effects just look god-awful. Like, when they introduced Spot, I was like, they just made a rubber toy. So, this movie is basically about how Herman and Lily met, and how they basically got to Mockingbird Lane. And yeah, this movie feels like 3 episodes of a pilot that got canceled. 3 episodes of a reboot show that got completely canceled. That's what it really feels like, because it really does feel like at part 1, Lily is looking for love and Herman is born. Part 2, they get together, and then they lose the house. They lose the castle in Transylvania. Part 3, they move to Mockingbird Lane, and it ends there. And it really does feel like a really stupid at the end. Like, the ending is just, like, really tacked on, because I feel like Rob didn't know how to make this. And he clearly does love the he clearly does love the Munsters. He clearly has a lot of love for it. And yeah, there's, like, Butch Patrick, who plays the robot, who played Eddie in the original show. You have, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, she's in here. John Cassier also makes a quick appearance. It's more of a listen for his. But this movie is so boring. None of the jokes work. Jeff Daniel Phillips and Sherry Moon Zombie as Lily and Herman are not good. They are not good at all. Like, in fact, if you're supposed to be being the younger versions of those characters, it sucks too, because both Jeff Daniel Phillips and Sherry Moon Zombie are way older than what the Fred Gwynn and I forget her name for Lily, the original actress for Lily, were, but they were much older than intended to be, and it clearly shows. Like, it clearly shows. Also, Jeff Daniel Phillips was the wrong guy to play that character, play Herman, because he has this voice that makes him sound like he's having puberty every 5 seconds. I kind of said Ken Foray would have been cool as Herman, and you made me think of Ken Foray, the guy who played, the zombie killer in Dawn of the Dead. He's never been in a comedy. Jeff Daniel Phillips was the caveman in the Geico commercials. Yeah, and that stupid god-awful show that didn't get off the ground too. But to which I say, if you didn't think Ken Foray is funny, motherfucker, Keenan Kel. He's Kel. It's in there. Yeah. I don't know, maybe it was a makeup thing, I don't know. And yeah, good lord, I feel like this movie should have been black and white to cover. I feel like I'd be a lot cooler with this movie if it was all black and white. And I don't plan on getting the DVD, but I hope for at least the DVD cut they say that there's a black and white cut, because this would really help cover up some of the dumb shit in here. And that would also be a real homage to the movie too. And I don't really think the movie doesn't really pick up until like the third act, when they get to Mockingbird Lane. I feel like and that's where some of the better material comes from, is when they get to the house. And that's only like the last 35 minutes of the film. And then it just ends abruptly. Yeah, I feel like what Rob should have done, rather than this romantic plot that just came out of was fast. I feel like what should have happened is take like a quick 10-15 minutes of the first film to run through everything of how Lily met Herman, they got married, they lost the house, they lost the castle, then they moved there, and the rest of the film is just them living in Mockingbird, the three of them trying to adjust to life in Mockingbird Lane, and then at the end of the film, they are, we find out that Lily is pregnant with Eddie. And maybe have Marilyn show up as well, or hint at it for the second film, if you want to do a second film. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get anything after this. This is just bad. God, it's just bad. Anyway, so it's on Netflix if you want to watch it. Sure. As a fan of the show, it's not good, but I'll take it over Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Fuck that movie. Anyway, so yeah, if you've seen the Munsters, Rob Zombie's The Munsters, comment below, let me know what you guys thought of it. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.